Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Saturday, the 21st of February, 2026. Starting here with the synoptic as usual, midnight last night. This low up here causing a lot of the issues alongside this big area of low pressure out to the west. That ridge of high we saw earlier in the week didn't quite intercept us. It's been pushed down to the south, currently sitting over sort of Spain area. And that's been driven out to the east again. A lot of frontal activity associated with this very deep low here, 959 millibars. By midday today, you can see those fronts have got an awful lot closer, with a warm front having already gone through and one approaching from the southwest. With it, that's going to bring sort of reducing cloud base, some poor weather at the time that arrives. We've also got some fairly low cloud at the moment, and there may not be anything to clear that through. Tomorrow, these cold fronts passing through the south of England, in fact, much of the UK, giving us fairly unsettled weather again, low cloud and quite heavy rain for periods in terms of the showers. Looking into Monday, unfortunately, the unsettled weather continues, and Tuesday as well. Hopefully, starting to see a bit of a window. We just need the ground to dry out a little bit and some slightly drier air. Back to today, looking at the SAPIC here, quite a lot of clouds in the south of England here, not really any gaps. Thinner to the north, but in our area, really quite solid. Not a great deal of rain to concern us with at the moment. South East Anglia and Lincolnshire is getting quite a lot there at the coast. Looking at the prediction from Met Office, showing rain coming in from the west along that front, potentially getting the occasional bit of light rain around 1 or 2 o'clock, but nothing hugely significant until about 5 to 6 this evening. The TAF Odium isn't produced today, being Saturday, but their observation at the moment is southwesterly 220 degrees, 13 knots, 10-kilometer visibility, overcast at 1600, with a temperature of 9, dew point of 8, and a pressure of 1020. Farnborough, they do have a TAF, and they're showing, once again, southwesterly 240, 12 knots, 10 kilometers visibility, scattered at 3,000 feet. And between the hours of 2 and 6, 7,000 meter vis, drizzle broken at 1,000 feet, and a prop 40 from 3 o'clock onwards of 4,000 meter vis, drizzle and broken at 700 feet. So based on that, expecting a deterioration, certainly Odium suggests that at the moment there's not a great deal of low cloud overcast at 1,600 feet. That doesn't appear to be the case locally to Lasham. So we'll see if that updates itself at all. Looking at the winds aloft to the south of us, southwesterly 30 to 35 knots, and to the north very much the same. So sure we can expect somewhere in the region of 240, 30 at flying height. And on the ground, looking nice southwesterly flow across the airfield there, and that continues throughout much of the day. Local Met Office forecast showing about 10 or 11 knots of strength, gusting up to a maximum of 22 from the southwest today. There's symbolic forecast here showing deterioration with some fog expected from about 1 o'clock onwards, which I'm not entirely sure what's causing that at the moment, but it's quite interesting. We can also see fairly high humidity, although lower than it has been in previous days, around 85 this morning, increasing up towards 99 as that fog arrives. GFS temperature giving us 10 degrees in the warmest part of the day there, which is more or less in agreement with the Met Office. A dew point there of 9. So that's largely what's going to cause some of that fog. If we do get a temperature and dew point of 9 there, we may see some of that fog forming on the airfield. Presently, we're at 8.4 degrees with a dew point of 6.7. And there's the webcam on the south side looking to the west. Let's reload that. Not really any hint of sunshine. Reasonable westerly there, but fairly low cloud there, probably sub 500 feet, I would imagine. Looking at the cross section here from SkySight, showing much the same, not really any significant change in that weather. certainly the cloud base not going much above sort of 600 or 700 feet, possibly up towards 1,000 if we were lucky. If there is a window of opportunity, however, we will very much be ready to use it and get out and fly. Top meteo, the cloud distribution starting now at 8 o'clock in the morning. The yellow is sub 1,000 foot and the orange is sub 500 foot and fog. We can see as we run that through hour by hour, that fog does start to come in from the west and does take over our area, and that's with us for much of the afternoon, starting to break up around 4 or 5 o'clock as the rain comes in as well. No times, nothing of great significance given the forecast. So we'll have a look at glider bookings. There's two K21s today on booked flying, a K21 and a K13 for the youth group, and a K21 on the casual list. And also K13 for trial lessons, but I suspect we'll be scrubbing those after briefing. And the simulator is available as normal. As far as movements are concerned, we were expecting a 319 departure at 8 o'clock this morning. That hasn't gone yet, and we're not sure until what time that's delayed. So just do be aware that that may be taking place at some point this morning. So in summary, we have low pressure out to the west, high pressure to the south, and a warm front passing through this afternoon and early evening. Low clouds begin are potentially clearing, but at the moment looking like we're being overtaken by fog around 11 o'clock. There's a moderate westerly flow throughout. We do fly at beyond runway 27 full winter ops. That's landing on the runway as well, with the cables on the south side. There's our airfield setup with a launch point displaced further forwards, winching from south of the centerline, air towing from north, landing on the tarmac and stopping short before the normal aiming markers there. Please don't taxi up to the back of the launch point. Make sure you either pull forward by hand or tow with a body. That's all from me this morning. We'll hopefully see you over there shortly. Let's get flying if we can and keep it safe. Thank you very much.